When we think of threatened species, we think of animals like frogs, reptiles and birds, or plants like trees and orchids. But there's an entire kingdom of fungi out there that also needs our attention. In the middle of Sydney is one of the key locations for these threatened fungi.
So Lane Cove Bushland Park, which is in Sydney, it's the type location for a lot of Australian Hygrocybe species, and particularly the threatened species. So the type location basically means the location that it was first collected and described from.
Flush toward the top of the cap, so it could be that it's 20 centimetres.
So the mycelium is the main body of the fungus. That's where the fungus lives, is under the soil. So the reproductive bodies are these mushrooms that come up. They won't come up necessarily every year, it just depends on conditions. So it needs to be nice and cold and damp.
Cap shape is convex with a slight central depression.
The mirror is to see the gills, which is an important feature for proper identification. Samples are taken for a genetics project, which will further inform our understanding of these species.
What we're trying to do is get a really nice DNA sequence. It's actually a barcode, so it's a segment of the DNA that we can then use as a reference. So if you find it elsewhere, you're able to run the DNA barcode of the specimen and match it against the reference sequence. It'll take a lot of the guesswork out of surveying, and it's also really helpful to then build a phylogenetic tree, so basically a tree of life. And it tells us how they're all related to one another.